This is Henny from Pink Elephant Media, and in this section we're going to run over website technology. Now, this is an area that is often really overlooked, but how your website is set up is actually can make or break how successful all of your marketing efforts are, how much further over the competition you can get. Now, one of the reasons for this is that we want to be able to add certain bits of technology to your site. And we're going to run over some of the technology that you can add. Now, every company is different, and so their requirements for technology will change. And again, we'll discuss this in a little bit more detail. But one thing that is generic to all sites is that we want to understand who these visitors are, what they're doing, how they're interacting with your site. So we can continuously improve what experience they are having with your brand. We can say that they're not resonating with these areas, but they are with others. So things like IP tracking software are really important because this allows us to identify companies that are coming to your site. If you have lead capture forms on your website, it will also identify who those individuals are. We can also identify what they're interested in, what pages they looked at, and really get in front of those people who actually decide what it is that they want. We get in front of those decision makers. So one of the first bits of technology is to have a CRM system that can identify anonymous visitors. Now, HubSpot is a free CRM system. It is fantastic at identifying who these anonymous visitors are, and they will allow you to then look at those leads and turn them into prospects, because it allows you to get in front of them again. There's a couple of tools out there that can help you with this. So HubSpot can show you the company that's arrived. If you click the company, it will take you into LinkedIn, and there is a little Chrome extension called Crystal Knows, and this integrates and it tells you a bit about that person, what their personality is like, how they like to be approached, in terms of trying to close a sale. So they give you a lot more information about that person and who they are. So when you go to LinkedIn and you identify companies there, there'll generally be someone within that company with a job title similar to the sort of job titles of the people that you speak to. You can then go on to LinkedIn, connect with them, either introduce yourself saying, hey, I saw that you visited our site. If you're interested in anything, please let me know. Make that connection request with them. Or you can pretend that you didn't know and you're just making a connection request at that time, and make sure that you use LinkedIn. Again, join our LinkedIn classes, but make sure that you're using LinkedIn to stay front of mind. Maybe point them to some content that you think might be useful around the product or service that they actually looked at. So we're beginning to now turn those anonymous visitors into actual real people that will make real decisions and come to your site. The other thing you need to do is make sure that you are attached to Google Analytics. Google Analytics gives us a whole host of information. We can see where people are dropping off on your site by looking at the behavior flow. We can look at where that traffic is coming from. So we can really get very detailed information on that. That needs to be added to your site. Often people think the web developer will do it and the web developer thinks you will do it. So make sure if you're a client of ours, it is attached. If you aren't, then you want to make sure that that's done. You also want Google Console on your account. This tells us what keywords people are using to find you, if there's any technical errors on the site, and it allows us to tell the search engines when new fresh content is being added. So it's sure about you adding new content. It's sees that content and it will go in and crawl it. So those are two other technical things that you really need to make sure happen. The next tool is Built With. Now, this is another Chrome extension. Again, the link will be below. But what this tells us is what technology your competitors have. Now, that is important because there may be things in there that they are using that could be helpful to you. The Next tool is to ensure you have a good email marketing channel set up. Now, this is important because we want to be able to keep it front of mind. And one of the main ways to keep front of mind is to use email marketing. And if you can see, email marketing was a big deal within your sectors, you know, when we were looking at SimilarWeb and you saw that email marketing was thing, and I said sign up to their emails. Well, this allows us to do a little bit more than that. We want a channel that will be able to segment our audiences into different areas so that they're picking up whether they are interested in certain sectors. We want to be able to automate these, so maybe send them on a journey. We call this drip email marketing. But what this allows us to do is say we want them, when someone signs up, to see this email first, this one next, this one the next. And therefore we are continuously adding onto that journey, and we're not having to keep thinking of new content all of the time. And it often is there just to remind clients that things exist. So we might reuse really popular campaigns. If we can see that a lot of people are unsubscribing at one email, it allows us to remove it. There are two tools that I recommend for this. One is OmniSend, that is for your e-commerce clients, and the one we use is called ConvertKit. Now, ConvertKit, they're both very user-friendly, and they are they have a lot of functionality and a lot of data. All of these tools allow us to collect a lot of data to understand your audience and what they are doing. That way you will always eke ahead of your competitors because you're consistently understanding who your audience is. The next tool we want to add is a heat mapping or a scroll map tool. Now, this is a tool called Crazy Egg. Again, I'll put the links below, but this tool allows you to see where visitors are coming from, see how far down the page they are scrolling or where they are clicking. So if they are taking an unexpected journey, we will know about that. So if they're trying to click on this link and that's just a photo, for example, they and it doesn't go anywhere, you might think, well, why are they doing that? What do they want to see? What are they trying to get to? So you're beginning to get a little bit more insight as to how they are using it. Again, are they missing a call to action? So how far down the page are they going? Are they missing the important parts of the page? We talked earlier about how you structure the page. You want to make sure you're very broad and generic here, but much more detailed there. The people who get into the detail are the people who are really interested in your product or service that you offer. And we want to see where these clicks are coming from. So are they coming from Google, Facebook, wherever they may be? We want to understand where those clicks are coming from. Do we need to create different landing pages for different areas? Again, we are slowly gaining more and more information as the time goes on. And the final bit of technology is to make sure that we squeeze as much out of your existing database as we possibly can and be able to get more. So one of the things that we often apply to sites is something called a referral. And referrals allow us to give people links to our domain. And if they buy something from our company, then they get a kickback. And this can be done if it's a product or a service. And it is a fantastic way of growing exponentially. We are going to be running referral marketing classes on this thing. So if you want to know more about classes that are coming up, please make sure you sign up to these courses and we will run through how these things work. But essentially, referral marketing gives you so much scope to be able to build your company very low cost and get out there. So for example, we might team with business coaches to sell websites, and if they sell websites, then we give them a kickback on the cost of those websites. We might team up with accountants. Therefore, we've got hundreds of thousands of potential people selling our products for us pretty much free of charge because we're only being paid when someone purchases. So it is a really clever way of expanding your audience base very quickly, and slowly you will begin to overtake your competitors.